All right, I just walked into a local charity, partially slash a food bank to ask for some free handouts, and this lady was like, "Yeah, you're getting your free stuff because it's being taken out of our paychecks. People work for your free stuff." She was lecturing me about that, and that really got my attention, and so I just started arguing with her about it. I can't believe that at a charity organization, you have the volunteers telling you that you got to work for the free stuff, or that other people are working for the free stuff. And I recorded a little bit of the conversation at the tail end, but it's mostly me, I think, making some bad arguments. And it really steams me, because it doesn't seem like a good connection to have people at the charities arguing that you need to work for the food. All right, that's a weird function for that charity. That's like a charity that's trying to lose its status as a charity and be more of an employment agency instead. You got to work. Well, okay, well, what job? And then, well, she did it. When I asked for like free food, she started telling me about a day labor, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in the day labor. I'll check that out later. But I've come to the charity not to hear about how other people are working for my free handouts. I've come to get the food. All right, and I made some bad arguments. Okay, it started out where she's like, okay, people work for your food, and it's taken out of their paychecks. Well, I'm like, people invest. Some people are using their investments to pay for it. She's like, well, who's making the money to pay for those investments, is what she said. And I guess I didn't really have a good argument for that one. Money's just for investments. When people get interest and gains and stuff, that's like money that's coming out of thin air. Who works for that? Who works for those fees and dividends and interest rates? Who works for the buying and selling prices? Exactly. It takes people to work for that, right? She's trying to focus on the blue collar, or maybe the dirt collar. And so I went low. I went as low as I could and started talking about conservation, and that there's no finite resources out there. And this is probably a very bad argument, but I'm like, the resources are not like for everybody. Not everybody could just, and I didn't make this argument, but it's like, not everybody could just grab a few cows and parade them wherever they want. There's laws against that. There's finite oil. We can only take so much oil out of the ground. We can only grab so much gold. That's what gets me too, is that this is a copper town. This is a mining town, and these people got rich. Maybe not this city. This city, I don't know what happened. This city didn't get that rich. Not like Butte, Montana, or San Francisco, which is practically a mining town. That's where they shipped a lot of their gold, where people were picking gold nuggets just off the ground. What work is that? Or even Jerome, Arizona, which is interesting. That's almost like Butte. These people are these are mining copper, and they got some gold and silver out of the grounds. Okay, it takes work to do that, but some labors really pay off a lot more than others, as people have put more value on certain objects over other things. So it's not exactly you work your fingers to the bone, and that's supposed to be a noble thing to do. So some work, it's a matter of who pays you, who pays you the most, and you accepting that lifestyle, that mode of exchange. Some people can turn off their conscience and do some pretty bad things for money, whereas other people have a sense of guilt and accept lesser means. I chose the conservation argument with her, and I was very weak. And I mean, I'm not saying that she was a professor of economics or anything, but it's just, I mean, there can only be so many people who own so much land to do all this labor and stuff. It's and I base a lot of my job choices now more than back then on my conscience. I don't support selling sugar. I support conservation and reducing use and all that. And she's like maybe in this mindset where you can leave a light bulb on all day and it's just got to work harder to pay for that extra electricity. And I don't take that stance. I take the opposite stance. So you conserve and reduce. There's a lot of value in just living a very modest lifestyle, and not just wasting monthly payments on a phone that you don't use enough minutes on to really rationalize having it. There's just there's those mindsets that just I don't align with. There's something about the connection there, and I'm considered crazy for being so conserving in my lifestyle. I mean, I don't call myself a conservative because that's a political statement for the rich people wanting to conserve their power. I'm more conservation minded. But you know, I wish I could have thought of the argument that she's just working for a charity that's only one step away from a dumpster diver. All right, I would have loved to bring that up. It just didn't come to mind. That's all these food banks are to me. They're just a step above dumpster diving. That's the agreements that the charities have come to terms with the donators, with the stores, and also this food. I mean, I'm not getting the highest quality food. I'm not coming to the food bank for the nicest stuff. I expect a lot of it to be expired. And she's telling me that it's coming off of the working her out of her paycheck, out of the paychecks of the laborers or something like that. It's ridiculous. I don't think that that's the first that I heard a lady like that tell me that this food is coming from people's paychecks, that they're donating this, and I'm like taking advantage. It's so ridiculous why people are in that mind frame. I mean, I could easily dumpster dive. I mean, if that's what it came down to. I mean, there's and growing whatever food that's necessary. I mean, there's certain skills to learn for that. You have to kind of grab a piece of land somewhere and try to make some value of that. Yeah, like there's a lot of jobs out there that a person could do that aren't directly related to producing food. I mean, changing tires all day. There's working at a retail store or something. There's things that you can do like that to like make money that would satisfy the labor aspect. But that, I mean, you kind of want to do things that are motivating too. And I did a lot of that in the past, and I lost motivation. It was just kind of depressing to keep going back to the same place over and over to do that kind of labor. I didn't really care for that. I don't have much of an argument for doing mindless labor. There are those people. She's standing up for the people who are doing mindless labor, And it's like, how do you make arguments against the mindless labor? The people who have accepted that they're not going to get joy from the work that they do. It just the paychecks that are a result of it. It's like there's some mindless labor that really it seems like purposeless. Sweep the floor several times over, and you know, if you're not finding dirt, just keep sweeping anyway. It's like there's some mindless labor that's just I don't know how people can find joy or motivation to do it. It's like if it seems like it's not really getting you anywhere, then stop doing it. Let that type of mindless labor fall out of favor. There's plenty of that type of labor that has gone out of fashion. There's not as many like horseshoe repairmen or leather tanners. But that stuff was fun initially, learning how to do it and getting value with that. It's not like it's gotten so dull to do. There's conservation issues once again. It falls back in conservation. I can't just shoot any deer I want. I'd live the lifestyle of a hunter if I could. Just go around and hunt various foods, but that's a conservation issue now. Just like chopping down trees and fishing and gaining all kinds of other resources. Gold has been extracted pretty much everywhere. Anywhere that there's any left is fenced off and heavily protected. A lot of good resource places are heavily protected. So it's really tough to deal with somebody at a charity who's telling me that they gotta like they have to make me feel guilty about getting charity stuff. Yeah, my arguments seem weak though. Maybe I'm not thinking of the right stuff.